Okay, so Greg Osterman III asks, "Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
I actually have 2 questions. With the announcement of Borderlands 3, what are you looking for in this sequel? And number 2,
A trash can.
what are some sequels that you are excited to see announced or unannounced that you'll play with friends?" Thanks, Greg.
Thanks for writing
Moose-
in, Greg. We appreciate
Moose-
your kind questions.
Moose is the big Borderlands guy here, so I feel like it's appropriate that he says
He's as big into it as I am.
I don't know. I feel like you've expressed more fandom for it than I have. I like the games, yes, and I will play Borderlands 3, but what do you want?
I'd like Borderlands 3 to have its own fucking loot table. That would be nice. Like if you're fighting a boss, like everybody gets the main weapon that he drops. Okay. Or you know, it's not like a mad rush to the loot to be like to try and like screw your friends over the gear. Like they need to it's 2019. Diablo 3 did it. I mean, they didn't at first. You had to go through and be like, "Oh, I'll drop this for you." So like they probably discovered that it was faster for their players to move through the game by just having like no matter who picked it up, the game just automatically was like it randomizes who it goes to. Mm-hmm. And then you sit there and say, "Oh, hey, like it just gave me this purple pistol. I don't like pistols." I could be like, "Matt, you like pistols. Here, take the pistol." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's cool. I think it would be cool if it had an auto sorting loot system like Diablo 3 has. I'd also like to see him modernize the specials a little bit. Like it looked like we were getting another soldier class, which is awesome. So we'll probably have a turret. So I feel like they could pull from Division 2 where you can actually tell a turret where to shoot. Like I'm waiting for a game where it like prioritizes a turret prioritizes the target that's like doing the most damage to you. Mm-hmm. Like even in Division 2, like you can actually tell the turret what to shoot, or like the healing drone who to heal, which is cool. But like I've still had issues where like there's a guy and my turret's trying to shoot him across the way behind cover, he's suppressed, and this dude's trying to like flank me, and the turret's not even turning like shoot. So it's kind of like, you know, and then that goes back to the limitation of the AI, but it's I don't think it's that hard. Like, you know, build a circle into the development, you know, surrounding the turret, and if something enters it targets it, you know what I mean, and switches to it. So I think that would be cool. And then just a lot more of the same, like the same humor. Mm-hmm. Like humor in the games are great. I think I'm like on the outside of a lot of the groups when talking about the pre-sequel. I loved the verticality of the oxygen gauge, the O2. Like it was a cool piece of equipment. It added you a second jump for you. It also added like the stomp, so you can like hit enemies. So I thought that was really cool for them to work in. So it'd be cool to see something new in Borderlands 3, like a new game mechanic. Like I think we're getting jetpacks. Like people were saying, like on the vehicles, you can see like jetpacks and stuff like that. So that would be cool to have like a jetpack that you could put on and kind of traverse like with the Oz kit. I don't know. Like I said, humor, guns, all that stuff. It would be cool if they did something like New Dawn, where you could like customize, or even Fallout 5, where you could be like, here's the base weapon. You can add like, I want to put a silencer on it. I want to put, you know, I want to extend the clip, or I want to, you know, put like a foregrip on it or something. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think that would be really cool to add to the customization of the guns for your own character, for your play style too, you know? So
I think a lot of that comes with the brands as well.
Yeah, it does. And that's what's really cool. Like in the Division, I feel like I have no problem giving up a little bit of accuracy for stability. Like but some people would rather have all accuracy and no stability. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like it's just like how your play styles are. You can cater your guns and your gameplay more towards the way you like to play instead of being like, well, here's just the gun with the way it is, you know? Well, no, I like to sneak around and like kill people with a silencer. Like, you know, let me do that, you know? Like that would be cool. But that's what I'd love to see from the sequel. And unannounced sequel I'm looking forward to playing with other people, Bloodborne 2.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And Helldivers 2. They have been, Arrowhead Games has been quiet lately.
Super quiet.
I'm hoping we hear something. I have a feeling like it's been 3 years. So I'm hoping like the next thing we hear from them is maybe like, I hope they kind of go the Bethesda route with Fallout 4 and do like an announcement trailer and then be like, the game's out whenever, 6 months. You know what I mean? Like that would be phenomenal. I don't like people were talking about like, you know, Todd Howard said Elder Scrolls and whatever the hell the other game is not going to be talked about at E3. And I'm like, good. I don't want to like it's not even out of pre-production. Skyrim.
The fact that they have to say that is more of a commentary on where we are as gamers than anything else. Because if anybody was expecting that after last year's E3, you're an idiot.
Like they told you it was coming and that was it. It's not like they gave you a teaser trailer.
Yeah, they said it's coming, not for a while.
Yeah, they told you it's not coming this generation. So just shut the fuck up and chill the fuck out and let them do. You have plenty of games to play. Mm-hmm. You have plenty of games to play, you know? So anyways.
And there's more coming out all the time.
Right. So I'd like to see Arrowhead Studios take that kind of approach where the next time we hear something from them, give us a little bit of information, then boom, drop a release date. So
Phillips, Corey, any thoughts?
I don't have much to say on Borderlands because I don't play it that much. So I think Moose covered that pretty well. I would have said Helldivers 2 because I think that's just a ton of fun. Like what Helldivers 1 was. So Helldivers 2 would have been awesome. Like this is a hard question because it's about sequels that I want to see that I would play co-op. Is what I'm assuming is the question is. Like it's not just sequels I want to see. So one I would love to see is one of my favorite games of all time is Jagged Alliance 2, Jagged Alliance 1 as well. And they've continued to make terrible games in that franchise, but nothing like the first two games. So playing those games co-op or competitive are some of the best multiplayer experiences I've ever had. I wish there was a Jagged Alliance 3 because I think that would be amazing to play with you guys. Picture XCOM, but on a tropical island, basically.
Awesome.
And it's really damn good.
Awesome.
So mine would be Jagged Alliance 3 and Helldivers 2.
I think for Corey, what do you want?
I mean, everything that I would want is probably already out or is announced or whatever. Like I think the Division 2 is a great multiplayer game, and you know, I know that there's going to be another Destiny at some point, which, you know, I'll jump back in when something is there for me to try to strive for, you know, because like right now, like unless you're like a huge Gambit fan, like there's nothing really to like try to level up for. There's no new raid really. I know the next season is going to have a new raid, but again, I don't really have the time or people to raid with. So, yeah, I don't really have anything, you know, I've never really played Borderlands either. So like, I don't really have any comments on Borderlands 3. I do like the art style Borderlands 3. It's kind of, I don't want to say it's getting away from the cell shaded art style, but it looks more like things are made out of plastic instead of like cell shaded, which I think looks really cool. But you know, Moose and I are actually, and Jason are planning a Borderlands playthrough, so hopefully we'll be able to do that. So, I mean, I like the idea of Borderlands. It's one of those games that you don't really want to play by yourself, and when people are like higher level than you, it's one of those games that's like not really as fun to play with higher level people. You know what I mean?
But at least it's because they're OP and not like you get killed every 2 seconds like Division 2.
Yeah, right.
Because they don't like it. Like when you play Borderlands with somebody that's a higher level than you, it still scales a little bit. Like it's kind of like Diablo, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
It's not like punishing like Division 2 is.
Yeah. So I mean, I honestly, when Borderlands Game of the Year edition comes out, it's going to be the first time I actually have a group of people that will play with me and not, you know, for lack of better terms, be dicks about it when I'm not playing. So
I'm gonna be a dick about it. I'm gonna tell you, man, you need to get on that PS4 so we can play.
I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up. I'm playing Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, you did not have the temperament to be around in the early World of Warcraft days then.
Well, I remember when I played Borderlands, like I had a bunch of people I was playing Mod Nation races with at the time, and they were all excited for Borderlands 2. And I think shortly before 2 came out, 1 was a PS Plus title.
Probably.
And so I got it.
Yeah, the first one was for PS3, I think.
Proceeded to platinum it, and all of them said they'd play with me, and none of them did. So I platinumed it solo, and there were some. It got a bit rocky at times, but you could push through it. I think 2's the same way. You don't.
Yeah, like you can totally solo the games. So.
Would it be better, Moose, if we played through 1, 2, and then the pre-sequel, or would it be better to play through 1 pre-sequel than 2?
Jeff and I were actually talking about that. We're gonna do 1 pre-sequel, 2, and then 3 eventually when it comes.
All right.
Because because we're doing chronological order, like story wise, not like release wise.
Okay.
So,
dude, that Borderlands Let's Play show we were talking about, Moose.
Yeah.
That name was so good, and now I cannot think of it to save my life.
We'll get it eventually.
Yes. So for Borderlands 3, I would like them to tackle a more replayable section of the game, not necessarily competitive multiplayer or anything like that, because I think that's kind of rote. I love the fact that they said there's no battle royale. I think that's
lame.
I think that's the correct line to put in the sand, because that's not really what this game is.
Yeah.
Except I think what they could take from Diablo is more of a rift situation, like a randomized, high level vault that you have to go through, something like that. I think that would be the only thing I would tack on to a Borderlands thing.
That would
more so than just having more guns. I like, one of the things I always liked about Borderlands was how much it was customizable, but still not customizable. Like the skill trees, you could get all the skills in the skill trees, and then you gained, what were they in 2, like accolades or whatever, that you could spend and get like more accuracy. Like
that was the badass level.
Yeah, that. And I think that stuff is really, really awesome. That way you can further hone what you want out of the game. Mm-hmm. I also like the fact that they made the weapon brands like identifiable, apart from like, I personally think that's like the coolest thing in Borderlands for me, is the fact that I found myself understanding the brands without them saying, hey, this is what a Malawan weapon is, this is what a Jacob's weapon is, this is what a Hyperion weapon is.
Yeah.
And each of them had their own like specific thing about it, and I loved that. So I would like more brands, but also I'm not sure I want that, because I feel like that's just asking too much.
There might be, because
any way they can make that cool, do it.
Well, the rumor is you're going to other planets too, right? Yeah. So I mean, there could be brands of weapons based on the planets too, because there's like that what the skyscraper looking planet or whatever, and then there's like the cool swamp looking planet. So that'd be cool if you could get like just a algae swamp covered gun. Kind of cool looking.
I also like the fact that you see a lot of characters coming back. I like the fact that you see Hammerlock, because I like that guy. I was kind of shocked that there was no Claptrap, really. Like, he was there for a brief second, but then like they really didn't do much with him. Because I think he gets shafted a lot in Borderlands.
He does. People find him, but I like him.
Claptrap's awesome.
I think another thing I didn't even mention, like bounties. Like if we can solo jump into a world and go and be like, oh hey, go kill this random dude roaming.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like give us like maybe 4 or 5 per world that can randomly spawn in a day, and we can just go from world to world and do bounties if we're trying to gear up or something.
Yeah,
you know, that would be cool. Perhaps a gear score, you know, like to try and get to a level to get into a raid or to get into a boss like Terramorphous.
Yeah,
It was the first one, and the first one was the first like raid type boss, and so it would be like, here's what you need to have, here's the level you need to have to get in there. Like that would be cool to add, you know, so that you have something to move towards, so that you can actually accomplish the goal instead of just trying over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? Until like you keep dying and dying, and then it just doesn't become fun, you know.
Okay, so I'm going to move on. I feel like we've tackled that. As for sequels unannounced on the fence, I don't think about that shit. So, sorry, I don't have an answer for you, Greg.